All right. Good evening and welcome to the August 10th Hudson Conservation Commission meeting. I call this meeting to order at 7:04. Please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Mr. Kim, and roll call, please.
Yes, sir. Selectman Dumont.
Present.
Mr. Murphy.
Present.
Mr. Kirkland is excused. Mr. Dickinson.
Present.
Mr. Cameron present. Mr. Walter.
Mr. Walter here.
Ms. Griswold is excused. And Keller.
Present.
Murray.
Present.
All right. In the absence of Ms. Griswold, I'll be seating Michaela as the alternate for tonight.
Okay.
Sorry, Ms. Murray.
Oh, yes.
Okay. New business. Mr. Kirkland, there's a handout that was presented tonight from Mr. Kirkland, and he gave us an update on the treatments for Robinson Pond and Ardenack Pond. Ardenack Pond, on May 19th, 2026, Solitude Lake Management conducted the initial herbicide treatment. Prior to and throughout the treatment, staff monitored for blandings and spotted turtles. No individuals of either species were observed. June 7th, 2026, a second herbicide treatment was completed to address remaining invasive aquatic vegetation. And then on June 23rd, a third herbicide treatment was performed targeting invasive plants observed during the follow-up monitoring. Treatment was limited to the exterior areas of the pond where invasive species were present. And then for Robinson Pond, July 7th, Solitude Lake Management completed herbicide treatment of approximately 8.5 acres to control invasive variable leaf milfoil concentrated in the town beach and southernmost areas of the pond. To date, the town of Hudson has received reimbursement for the first two herbicide treatments at Ardenack Pond through the Aquatic Invasive Plant Control Prevention and Research Grant Program. The commission will be reimbursed $7,365 for the initial treatment and $5,695 for the second treatment, totaling $13,060. These reimbursements represent 50% of the eligible treatment costs incurred by Aqualogic and Solitude Lake Management. Engineering has submitted another reimbursement request to New Hampshire Department of Environmental Services for the third and final Ardenack Pond treatment, as well as the first Robinson Pond treatment. This request was submitted on July 17th, 2026, and is expected to reimburse the commission for an additional $9,695. Solitude has notified the engineering department that the second herbicide treatment is required at Robinson Pond. This work will be conducted on August 12th, 2026. And that is the update.
Okay.
Anybody have any questions?
Yes,
Ms. Murray.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
The not spotting of the turtles, will it injure the turtles otherwise, or is that just noting because they're endangered?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Well, I think there'd be some effect because they tell the public that they can't use the pond for about 48 hours after the treatment.
Okay.
So there's like an initial shock there, but from what I've been told by Aqualogic or the other company is that Solitude Lake Management, they've both been in for presentations in the past, and they said that the half-life of the chemical that they use is really quick. That's why it's so expensive. or part of the reason why it's so expensive, because it just targets the invasives, nothing else.
That's good.
It's supposed to be pretty harmless to any aquatic species, including
Okay.
fish. So it doesn't have any negative effects on the overall, we call it aquatic life of the pond. So it just has benefits, no negatives.
That's good.
And the big thing is that the pond can be opened again in 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, I think for Robinson,
So-
it said like 3 hours. I think it was just like, for the first treatment, at least, it said, to wait 3 hours.
Yeah, so actually, they changed the chemicals that they use, so it's a little, it's probably a little different now.
Okay.
Selectman Dumont.
Mr. Chairman, also, those species typically between May 15th and I believe October 15th is their breeding period. So NHDES requires that during that time, any construction activities or even chemicals like this, you need somebody to monitor the area to make sure they're not being disturbed. And if you do see them, there's other actions that have to be taken. So it might just be due to the time frame this is going on that you want to just monitor that stuff.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Yeah,
Looks
like we should
something
go
else.
out there and, I haven't gone out there with the kayak yet myself, to see, what level of fan wart we have. The reason why they're probably doing the second treatment at Robinson is because early on in the season, it's milfoil that pops up. Then at this time of year, you can really see the fan wart flowering. So, especially down the southern end, if you can get down there.
Yeah.
So, so that's, actually, that would be typically with Aqualogic, pulling the weeds and harvesting them, and they are doing that, right? We're not just getting treatments, we're getting dash work done too. Because it's involving both companies.
Yeah, I think it's below both, yeah.
So that'd be, it'd be interesting to see how much they're harvesting. Aqualogic usually gives us a report as to how many gallons they process.
Yep.
Or however they measure it, so. So that would be good to get and to go out there and see. And just visually, I've been down to both boat launches. I swam in Robinson Pond. I think it was in good shape. I swam in it several times this year. And I've been down to the boat launch at Arnick, and I saw that it's been busy with people fishing down there and putting their craft out. And I haven't seen any bad activity. So, maybe the best thing is that I didn't see any algae blooms like it was so prevalent and bad last year. That was like a big outbreak, and hopefully that hasn't happened again with this last heat wave. Go out there again and check. I just got back, being out of state for the week. So, on that note, sorry, I missed the old home days.
Hopefully you win.
No, I didn't get a chance to attend, really, other than, I saw the fireworks. That was it. And it was good fireworks display, I could say that. Yeah, I was really close, over near the barns. And I caught it right as it was coming back into town, so. But then I was out of town again yesterday for a work event, so. I was in Massachusetts yesterday. The whole day, missed it. So better time next year, I guess.
Yeah.
Hopefully, yeah, and I know that's on the schedule, so we'll talk about that in a little bit. So anything else on the ponds?
Yeah, everybody,
Good.
good, all right. On to old business. The bylaws. We're going to discuss the bylaws at the next meeting, and there's a typo. That would be September 14th and not the 24th. And then we can include Ms. Griswold in that discussion. I don't have an update on the Peter Nori donation at this moment. That'll do. I'll inform everyone. Moving on to item 3, other business. Trail Workday recap. So a group of us got together at Tiger Road and did quite a bit of work out there. A section of trail that was steep. We added some switchbacks too at Mr. Walters' suggestion. I think Mr. Walters went out there and gave us his thumbs up.
Yeah, I agree. They did a lot of work, cut back some of the shrubs and undergrowth, and some of the steep sections made a longer switchback that cuts around the steep sections there. Looks good.
Yeah, and I think we added some additional blazing. So it'll be harder to get lost out there.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think it was a good work day. So it was very productive. And I did reach out to NRPC today and to inquire about mapping the property. So it would be nice to have a map and potentially a kiosk at the trailhead. So I'll follow up with that this week. Any other comments on our work day? It was hot, buggy. We all made it back. It was nice.
One comment I have is
Mr. Walters, go ahead.
we talked about naming the park there. So I had come up with a temporary name of Robinson Woods, but, if everybody has a time to think about it, we come up with a name. It comes from the old Barrett's Hill Farm. And the research that I did shows that it was owned by family before that of Cross, C-R-O-S-S, last name. And they farmed that side hill there quite a bit. That old cellar hole probably dates back to that family Cross.
That might be good to name it something different than Robinson, just because you have Robinson Road, Old Robinson Road, and if you ever need to get, and you get the Robinson Pond Rec area, so if someone ever had an emergency call, some emergency staff might get confused if they went to the wrong side of the pond, so it'd be good to have a different name as a result. I know when they name streets, they try to avoid using anything similar to avoid that miscommunication, so, yep.
Ms. Murray?
Would it be possible that we could do like community engagement and try to get like people to come up, like help us come up with the name or something? I don't know if that's in our wheelhouse or anything, but.
It's possible, but we didn't have that, in the past, we haven't had that much response. So it might make sense for us to just brainstorm on it, bring some ideas to the meeting, and pick the one that we collectively like the best. It's probably the most efficient way of doing it, instead of trying to make a game out of it and have 2 people respond and.
Put a few names in a hat, pick one out, there you go.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. I mean, it could be. I think that. I mean, that's the other thing is try to, do like Mr. Walter said. Pick something that's relevant to the property. That maybe
Right.
something of like
About-
historical
Yeah.
relevance. So it's.
With that being said, I think Mr. Walters, it was the Cross family that farmed that land?
I think prior to the Barrett's ownership, or perhaps there's some relationship with the Barretts and Cross, I researched Hillsborough County deeds there, and that was information I found. I didn't go back any further, but that foundation's been there probably since the 1700s, really old foundation, and there was working farm implements there, steel materials, so that puts it into the, 1930s, 1940s anyway, that somebody was actively farming that plot in that area, but the Barrett's farm was an extensive farm with all kinds of fruit trees and vegetables and cattle. They had a dairy farm there pretty much for a long period.
Well, maybe we could use the name Crosswoods.
Yeah, or do a little more research and see if that's, go back to the beginning, the original one. Look at the land. Like we did at Colburn. That's, actually Colburn was not the original person that owned the land. We named it Colburn because of, Captain Col, I think it was like Captain Colburn, someone, individual that was did active duty in the Revolutionary War, and he lived right on Musquash Road, just up the hill, and his gravestone's up in that cemetery above the pond. So we thought it was appropriate to, rename the Girton property, which was just named that way due to who owned it the last before the town, who owned it last before the town took over the property. So we renamed it Colburn instead because it was more appropriate.
Tiger Woods?
Tiger Woods, yeah. There we go.
That would be good. You get a couple people on the troll.
Maybe let's do this. Maybe we'll give this some thought, do a little more research, and we'll.
I actually like that suggestion. I
Heard that somewhere before.
Well, should we take a vote on it now, or should we wait till September? We'll wait till September, I guess.
Yeah.
We'll put that in the hat.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a good
that
one.
sounds, it would be good to, yeah, on that note, trails don't need to be like, they can also give somebody a chuckle, they don't need to,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, they can make lead as something, and I've seen that, a lot of
Alright.
that,
Yeah.
lately on the different trails.
So who's bringing in the hat next meeting to pick the name?
I'll bring a hat.
You bring a hat? Okay. Sounds good. All right. Any more discussion on that? Seeing none, okay. Old business, so I guess we need to get a date for another workday. And I think Musquash area and the Colburn area, I think there's a lot of trees down.
You're forgetting one thing,
What?
that we didn't mention, that, well, the bridge is still there out at Robinson,
Oh, yeah.
What?
so we gotta,
I heard it was gone.
No, yeah, I thought it was gone.
no, it's still there. Even the loose wood was there, so it needs to get removed, or it should get removed and put somewhere.
Okay.
Are we talking about two different bridges? Because somebody said one was, the one we thought it was gone. I didn't go out to see, but
No, it's over on the west side of the property, so it's over near the old Robinson Road.
All right, so there's still a bridge out there that needs to come out.
Yep,
All right.
yeah, it won't take long. Just
Okay.
needs, someone to watch, to make sure if I tow it, I don't hit a tree or something on the way out. Break it in half.
So is that, can that be accomplished after work, you think?
It could, yeah, possibly.
Or do we want to wrap that up into a weekend
Well,
day?
the thing is that we gotta, once we get it to the parking lot, we gotta put it on something. And I'm not, so someone else that would have a trailer long enough to carry that thing. Because if I have my Polaris, I have to put my Polaris on the trailer. Otherwise, I have to leave it at Robinson Pond without any attention to it.
How many people do you think you need to move that bridge?
I don't think it's really that heavy. I mean, my guess is that it's,
You or another person?
I can bring my mule. I got a trailer, 12-footer that'll
Okay.
fold up. Long as the bridge is shorter than 12 feet, I can, by the time we get done cutting off the part that's all rotted, it's
yeah, it might,
less than 12 feet.
might stick out a little bit, but you put
It's not gonna stick out
a
because my
flag.
trailer bed folds up.
Ah, gotcha, yep.
If you want the mule on it, I can,
So I have to go out there and just measure it, make sure the length
well, we'll
is-
cut it right at
Yeah,
12. Or
12.
gonna be 12 or less.
okay.
And then the intent is to bring this out to the town forest?
Yeah, there were a couple places at the town forest that I could go, on Kemble Hill Town Forest.
Okay.
I had another, if it didn't go there, you could put it over at, Tiger Lane maybe but I don't know if that stream crossing is longer than 12 feet. Probably is. No?
No.
So, yeah, so you could do.
Might have to move a couple of rocks on each side, but we'll span that if we go up above where the passage is usually in our streams. I'm talking about the first one you come to going down the trail. If you wanted to put a bridge on the, way down the bottom of the trail at the end, to the left where it goes, you just basically step over the stream there. Could put one there too, but whatever you decide is fine. I'm getting my mule seatbelt straightened out there, so.
Nice.
Oh, well, you probably wouldn't need to take the mule, because we'd.
Just bring the trailer.
Yeah,
fine.
just bring the trailer. That would, yeah. Yeah, just because we need a second trailer, basically, right there at that time to move from one spot to the next. And then we could drag it out to the next location. So,
So we'll get two locations.
I think it's
two
gonna
potential
take-
locations.
I think it's gonna take about, I don't know, a couple hours to take it out, move it, put it to the next spot, sink it into place. It's probably gonna take at least 2 hours.
Yeah, like 2 to 3 hours probably.
Something like that, so it might be kinda tough to do it on a weekday night.
Yeah,
from
it sounds
that
like Ruler's
regard.
daylight.
So I think that we could split it up and
Yeah.
some of us could go do some cutting over at Musquash, and a couple of us go, take out the
Yep.
sign, the bridge.
That's what I was thinking. Let's do that. So we can have a bridge removal crew and placement crew, and then a crew to go out and take some trees off trails.
So it might only take 2 people, myself and one other person, to
Mr. Walters.
get that
Okay.
done.
All right, so with that being said, do we know where we want to put the bridge once we,
Yeah, I guess I could go out there, measure it, and then measure where it would go in. So we might need a little help to sink it into place.
all right.
But, yeah, there were 2 spots that I thought were pretty easy to get to with it, and Kemble Hill.
All right.
So,
So with that being said,
yeah, so now it's just a matter of picking a day.
Mm-hmm.
so let's pick a work day for the month of August. I'm away next weekend.
So that's the 15th.
Yes. I'm available 22nd to 23rd. And then I'm away the 29th and the 30th. But that doesn't
Well,
mean...
no, I think that's same here.
Yeah.
So I think that if it's, what's everybody's availability for,
I'm also away the 29th So the 22nd, the weekend of the 22nd, I'm available.
Yeah, weekend the 22nd?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
I'll be away both those weekends.
Both those weekends? Okay.
The only one I can do is next weekend.
Next
Or
weekend?
this coming weekend.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, okay, so,
Are we definitely doing a weekend?
we could do a weekend and a weeknight, maybe.
Hmm.
We could do that, so we could do the 22nd, because the trees over at Musquash are pretty far in.
Mm-hmm.
But we can do a weeknight and do some clearing over at the town forest.
Well, the other thought is to, again, I could bring the Polaris with me, put the gear in the Polaris and truck it out to, and on that one, if we had the mule too, then a couple people could jump in the mule, and then the other stuff can go on the back of the Polaris, and we can drive out to where we need to cut the trees and do as many as we can.
Okay.
You know, for 2 hours and maybe 6 to 8 in the evening, or possibly a little earlier than that.
We could get it
5:30.
to where we want to put it, even if we don't have time to set it.
Oh, for the bridge part?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that part, yeah,
At
possibly.
least get it over there so you don't need the ATV anymore. Because I think you could drive,
Well, I
or
was,
the UTV, I think you could drive that right into Tiger Road if you took it over there. I don't know about the other spot you were thinking.
oh yeah, I can drive it over to the other spots too, yeah. Yeah, there's no problem with driving it to where it needs to go. So, it actually might be a little easier at Kimball Hill because one of the spots is pretty level.
Hmm.
There's definitely nothing in the way. Actually, two of the spots I was thinking about putting it, it's really easy to get to, so.
Hmm.
But yeah, I can go, in between time, I can go, measure it out. So we know exactly where it's going.
All right. Do you want to pick out a weeknight for the bridge?
Yeah, I mean, I'd almost rather do the bridge on the weekend.
On a weekend?
Yeah, just because if it takes a lot of physical labor, I don't want to be having trouble getting things done the next morning. Or if I have a work meeting the next morning, then, and I have to travel, then it might be inconvenient.
All right, so August 26th for the bridge, and we'll have two people.
The 22nd or 26th?
Oh, the 22nd, I'm sorry.
No, I was just confused.
So we can still, do on the 22nd, we can still do the bridge in Musquash, and then we can throw on another weeknight too. Does anybody have any preference to what day of the week?
Monday?
Monday?
Or whatever works.
And
Yeah,
it-
Monday would work. Anybody have any particular Mondays they would? Either the 17th,
17th's good.
oh, I'm not gonna be around the 7th.
Oh, you're not here.
Yeah.
Never mind.
But, I don't need to be here either.
I'll be away the
The 24th? Well, we can do
31st is probably okay.
31st. I'll be in college, yeah, I won't be around the 31st.
Yeah, neither will I.
Well, we could do it Tuesday?
We can't do Tuesdays,
Can't
right?
do Tuesday?
So was there a conflict with next Monday?
I won't be here, but, I don't need to be here, I guess, you guys.
What were we gonna be doing?
Well, if it's just the two of us that are picking the bridge up. Then
Oh.
No, he's on bridge.
We're gonna do the
Saturday.
bridge on Saturday.
Yeah, the 22nd.
22nd, okay.
So what else do we have besides Musquash and the bridge?
Well, we could do some over at the town forest. We could do some vegetation clearing. Some of those trails get.
Well, Colburn needs,
In Colburn,
the bottom of Colburn,
yep,
the Abenaki Trail needs,
some work.
yeah, it's getting overgrown.
Yep.
And there's a big pine tree too that, I mean, the trail goes around the pine tree now, so it wouldn't be the end of the world if the pine tree just stayed there. It's really big. It's like a 4-foot diameter. It's at least a 3-foot diameter tree. And then there's some other smaller trees that fell too.
So the Colburn will be a weeknight.
So you could always burn a few hours in there.
So, what's a good weeknight for everybody? Monday seems to be out. Is there another night that works best for everybody?
For me, any, aside from the 27th, which is a Thursday, but it's just one Thursday.
Thursday, 27th?
Yeah, that's the only one I cannot do.
Yeah, I would say the last week of August is bad for me.
Okay.
You got a lot of deadlines for the end of the month, and it's also a billing week.
Sounds like you gotta be somewhere between the 17th and the, what, 20th, 21st?
Yeah.
Yeah, that second last week is,
Yeah, maybe the 18th,
maybe
19th.
this week is better.
Actually, let's say the 19th.
I'm out on the 18th, can't do that.
Yeah, I can't do the 19th.
I mean, Friday night could actually work. People are available.
21st.
That's fine. I'll be gone. So
How about the 20th?
I'll be gone like the 20th to the
Okay.
that whole week.
What about the 13th?
13th.
13th, or 14th.
This week.
Yeah, and I can, on that note, oh, yeah, I can't.
Yeah, I'll be gone.
Oh, you're out. So what days are you available?
Well, you guys can all do the 22nd, so that's fine.
Yeah, the 22nd. We're just trying to pigeonhole a weeknight too.
Yeah, we can loop back for next month.
All right.
It doesn't work.
Chris, when are you available?
After August, I guess.
All right.
That's tough with everybody's vacation schedules, whatnot.
This week is tomorrow, Wednesday.
So you are available tomorrow? We could do, well, actually tomorrow, Wednesday.
Or we could do Monday if Carl's not here. Or we can do, what'd you say? Friday?
Well, I was suggesting Friday, just because can work a little harder, you know, anything to do on Saturday morning,
Right.
sleep in a little bit.
It's an option.
But, you know, it's a little tough if you gotta go to a meeting at 7 o'clock in the morning the next day, somewhere else besides Hudson. It's a little tough to make a full effort at night.
Yeah.
The 14th, well, just personally, the 14th, this Friday, unfortunately, actually, I can't, I have to go pick up my sister. Airport.
But, yeah, if you wanna pick another day, by all means, pick another day. It doesn't need to be Friday. It just, I personally can't ever do a Tuesday night.
When you get back, Carl?
I'll be back Monday night. So,
31st?
hmm?
31st?
Yeah, I'll be away again. Sorry.
Oh, that's a different one.
Yeah, it's a different one. We can do 18th Oh, yeah, 18th? I know Ken can't make it, but
I can't make it,
you can't.
be out of town.
Yeah, well, not everybody, but you can make the 22nd.
Yeah.
I'll make the
Yeah.
22nd so far,
So not everybody has to make every
till
one.
I talk to the boss.
Yeah, I know. So we can do something on the 18th if,
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
good for the 18th, yeah.
so we'll have a second one on the 18th then,
Well, Tuesday?
Tuesday.
At what time? About,
Um,
What did we do last time? 5:30?
yeah, 5:30.
at Colburn?
Yeah, we can do Colburn as Mr. Dickinson suggested.
Okay.
Yeah, and if I, yeah,
Yeah,
it might be
Benaki
pretty
Trail.
tough, but I might be able to do
Yeah,
something.
and if
It's just
you-
gonna,
If you can
Maybe you
make it,
could
you can make
delegate
it.
us.
it's just tough because my wife works late that night.
Yeah,
I got
I get it.
extra duties to do.
All right, so we got 2 work days planned for this month. August 18th at 5:30 at Colburn for some vegetation and a tree. And then August 22nd, we
At
can do. we can do-
9,
What's that?
the time on the 22nd.
I think 9 o'clock is doable, right?
Yep.
So the 22nd, we'll have 2 crews. We'll have the bridge crew and we'll have a cutting crew. The bridge crew is Ken and John, Mr. Walters. Mr. Dickinson, Mr. Walters, and the cutting crew is whoever wants to come out to Musquash and cut some trees.
Where are you guys meeting?
Let's meet at Hines Lane at the Gumpus Pond Conservation Parking Area.
Okay.
And where's best to meet at Colburn? Would it be on Copper Road or on Trigate Road?
We've met down at Copper Hill,
Copper Hill? Okay.
but yeah, there's just more places to park there along the road.
Okay, Copper Hill.
Copper Hill Road. 5:30.
And there's more to do. I would say there's probably more to do down low that absolutely needs to get done,
Yeah.
and at the
Yeah.
top. So yeah, it's another reason to park down there.
So I have blowdowns and trimming.
Yeah, there's both, right, there's both. So you get some overgrowth down near the pond part
Mhm.
and along that wall. And then you get some scattered blowdowns on both loops, or whatever, both trails. I guess I could go over there and take a few pictures and text them to Carl, or try to use our app
Here we go.
and point it, yeah, like I used to do with Bill.
So, I know how to use the app. I can pinpoint a location, but can you add notes to that pinpoint?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. That'd be great, thank you. All right, anything else on the work days? Nope, okay. Moving on.
What time on 22nd?
9 o'clock.
9?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're meeting on Hines Lane.
Is everybody meeting
But,
there?
no, not everybody. Mr. Dickinson, Mr. Walters,
Robinson?
Robinson, at the same time, 9?
Yeah, I think, yeah, if I can meet earlier, then I could give Mr. Walter a call, and
I'll be there at 8:30.
Okay.
maybe it's better to get in and out of there early before any crowd shows up to swim.
Let's do it.
Alright, so Robinson Pond at 8:30 and. Hines
So
Lane
there's
at
still-
9.
Still swimming is open at Robinson, no bacterial levels of,
Last, I was out there, well, I wasn't out there this weekend, but I was out there maybe 2 weekends ago.
so a lot of the ponds around have got the bacterial advisories.
Actually, it hasn't been that bad this year
Yeah.
throughout the state. I mean, the other, maybe one of the reasons why it hasn't been that bad is because they also weren't doing as much sampling as they had in the past. Probably due to budget cuts, whatever. So, so like, you know, for the longest time, like I kept on looking and I would say that the sampling at Robinson Pond had been done on July 6th. And that was 2 days before they did the treatment. So, but, and everybody, you know, the next weekend, you could tell nobody was in the, for the next 2 weekends, it was pretty, very light traffic on the beach there. And nobody swimming for the most part. But the last time I was out, you know, a couple weekends ago, there were a lot of people swimming.
I see people like.
And there was a
everywhere.
birthday party and, you know, where the grills are and the parking lot was full.
Okay.
So, almost full. So, yeah, can seem fine to swim. But that could have changed. The hot weather that we had.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so you go on the New Hampshire Lakes mapper and check it.
There you go.
See if they've actually done some testing yet this month. So they're supposed to do it every 2 weeks, but for some reason it, you know, it's been taking, and it wasn't just this pond, you know, it's other ponds too, because I've checked. I've gone to some state parks too, and water quality, like, went to the one in Ware, and that was fine. But I've also noticed that Pawtuckaway had a bloom at Pawtuckaway Lake, and Bear Brook had a bloom too. So it's kind of been spotty.
Selectman Dumont, if I'm correct, does the fire department take sampling of the water?
Typically, it would be under either engineering or fire department. Yeah,
Engineering
they
or
work
fire
together
department.
on those things, especially when it comes to safety for the public.
Yeah, okay.
Well, there was also a VLAP. There was supposed to, there was a, we're going to call it VLAP program, volunteer testing on Robinson Pond. I don't know if they're actively doing that this year.
Yeah.
There
Ms.
is a
Michaela?
thing for
Ms. Morrow?
that. You go on to, it's in like the newspaper classifieds about, you send an email to the Robinson Pond volunteer and you just send in a sample. I don't
Okay.
know if anyone has or if we would be notified of the findings, but people can still volunteer per the newspaper.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we should try to find out what's been done.
Yeah.
So maybe it didn't make it to the Lakes Mapper website. But they do update that mapper daily, so you do see, like, recently it changed. There was some more blooms that popped up over, you know, say 2 weeks ago. I can say that Lake Sunapee was really good to swim in. I swam in Lake Sunapee, I also swam in Lake Dunmore.
Oh, wow, all right.
Yeah, really good swims, like a mile.
Okay. Anything else? We're good? All right. Moving on, kiosk and trail sign installation projects, trail easement progress report. So, Mr. Walters handed out some examples of kiosks to me, and I can pass this along. I know I haven't contacted anybody as far as making kiosks or haven't had the time to. So,
If I remember correctly, Mr. Chairman, I think Ms. Griswold was going to be trying to contact
Yeah.
a couple of different groups, so it might be best to
I think you're right.
wait for an update from her.
I think you're right.
I bet I have my paperwork from when we built the other ones, too. So I have a materials list, a little drawing that we did to guide ourselves in building it.
You volunteering?
Oh, what, to build another one? Possibly. Yeah, I might be able to do that again, especially if it's done the same way or a similar way as we did the other ones. I think we refined the process on the second and third one that we did.
Okay.
But I think they held up pretty good. I mean, they've been up there now for, the first one we put up was like in 2012. So that's what, 14 years we've
Pretty
done
good, yeah.
usage of a kiosk, and they're still in good shape. I mean, the graphics inside of them need to be replaced.
Updated, yeah.
And the ones that, the bigger one down at Musquash, that was reconstructed even before that, I believe, so. That's a
Right.
larger kiosk,
Right.
so, anyhow.
Point on that kiosk out by the bridge there, there's no maps for trail information there on that kiosk. Nothing.
Correct, yeah. And I do have the dimensions for that, and when I follow up New Hampshire, with NRPC, I can mention that, and they can have one printed for us for that location.
Yeah, that one went in when we did the bridge during the pandemic,
Yeah. It's due.
and then the map never, I think we put a map in there, but it didn't have a piece of Lexan over it, and it disintegrated pretty quickly. I think so. Yeah, or it got ripped down or something like that. But on the other kiosks where we had it protected, it held.
Are you talking about the bridge at Musquash?
Yes.
Is there a reason why there's a kiosk there? It seems like a really weird spot.
We thought that, Bill really wanted to put one in there because we wanted to let people know where the trails went on the other side, and it just took forever to get the trails made.
Got it.
So that's why that just kind of fell to the wayside in terms of not putting a new map in there. We were always working on the trails, and so we were holding off on making a new map. So it just never got repositioned into that kiosk. So now, now we're at a point where we can do that. So we should try, I would say we should try to put a map there. I mean, we already have it sunk into the ground. If we really needed to, we could take it out and put it somewhere else that was be more visible. I think it actually, big picture is that it's optional. And we don't necessarily need it there, but it would be nice to let people know what's on the other side. Because most people have only hiked on the west side of Musquash, they haven't hiked on the east side of Musquash.
Gotcha.
It's like unknown territory, the land in between.
I don't think it looks good to have an empty kiosk, so if we have a kiosk,
Yeah,
we
no,
should probably keep the map
it
on
lends itself to vandalism,
Yeah.
so to have it empty like that.
Somebody already did carve their initials in it, so. Anyway.
Do we have all the trails on there that exist?
Yep. Yeah, I think we completed the last of those trails.
They're all on the map?
Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
So we could, in theory, print the map whenever and get it put up.
Exactly, yeah. Yep. Yeah, we need a little more traffic out there to keep the vegetation down off the new trails, so hopefully that'll entice some more people to visit that part of Musquash. Ms. Murray?
Will there be a spot that we could put the QR code, or there may already be for the?
Yeah, I mean, they already exist on the maps.
Oh, awesome. So
Yeah.
it's like the maps that we had at Old Homestead, but
Yeah.
bigger.
Yep,
That's awesome.
yes. Any other comment?
Was there anything about the trail easement or?
Yeah, so, yeah, Mr. Dickinson drafted a trail easement letter, and just waiting for some feedback on that. And we can send it along.
Yeah, we needed to, it looked like it needs to go out to 2 different people.
Yep.
At least, maybe 3. Cover all parties. Because there's a business and there's also, well, 2 that we know. 2 that we know that live right there, close by. So, I mean, to be more specific about it, we already talked about sending out a letter to Basilic Lake because I think either, Dylan, did you speak with Patricia?
Yeah, I had let her know that you guys were interested in, that you were gonna be sending something off.
Okay.
Yep.
So the trail, when we looked at the tax map, it's not just, it's actually not on her property, it's on the larger one that wraps around, that's owned by Nash Family Investments.
Yeah.
So, and the president, I think, still of Nash Family Investments is Mark A. Nash, who lives at the top.
Yeah, yep.
So, and that's who I know, or at least from 20 years ago I knew him. So I thought it would be good to at least send him the letter as well.
I would agree.
And I don't know if we have to send it over to the office in Nashua, but if we send it to him, I figured that would suffice
Mhm.
to send it to Priscilla and to Mark.
So this is 51 Trigate, potential trail easement.
Yeah, 51, or I think it's 53.
Well, 51 is the 207 acre parcel.
Yeah, 51 is the bigger one. Yeah, so it's got to be the bigger one. But, yeah, so that's a real, in theory, it's a simple request. It's not that, it's maybe a quarter mile, and it's not near anybody. If we do the trail right, you wouldn't see it from either James Way or from Trigate Road. You wouldn't see that stretch.
And the request is just for a trail, and then we would work with them to figure out where it should go if they.
Yeah, just to make sure that they're in agreement if they have any concern about where it actually is versus, like, is it on this side of the wall versus that side of the wall? And there are a few walls out there, but, and it would need to cross, like an existing logging path for a short stretch. So where that crosses the logging path might be of concern to them, possibly. I don't know, the land's pretty traversable. Down low it's a little, you have to be careful and make sure you don't site it in the swamp itself.
Right.
But once you get past that part, it's just basic upland woods. It's really just an exercise in putting in the signs, doing some simple blazing at most.
Yeah.
Wouldn't take much to,
Straightforward.
yeah, very straightforward, very easy to maintain. Not a lot of and the reason being is because there's not a lot of undergrowth out there. No shrubs to have to cut back.
Okay.
I bet it was an orchard not too long ago.
Yeah. All right, we'll
So
follow up
it's-
with that.
Yeah, so I'm praying.
All right.
So, yeah.
Any other discussion on that item?
Well, the only other thing, the other thought on the trail easement part was to recontact the developer at Barrett's Hill to see if we can get some kind of trail even if it's, I guess, be best to have an easement, but whether or not it actually needs to be a formal easement or not is questionable, and that would be to be able to access the power line or the view uphill from the development itself on, what's the new road up there? The cul-de-sac off of Barrett's Hill. It's a good trivia question.
Don't know off the top of my head.
I forgot the name.
So, so you know what I'm talking about. So, yeah, so over near the construction trailer on that side, that's where I envisioned it, because it would be away from most of the new buildings that they put in. And there was a trail there too on that side, historically. There was a apple cart path that went up to the, and went into the woods where they would cut, so the path's still there, it's just,
Windsor Lane, is that it?
yeah, it's probably,
Yeah.
it's the only new road there up in that, on the hill.
It's on Google Maps now. It's official.
Yeah, and it, so I see a lot of people walking on that road, so it'd be nice to also have, a lot of people don't realize that if you go up a little higher, you can actually see all the mountains. You can see everything from like the state line where Tadic is, all the way up to Mount Kearsarge.
Yeah, because it looked like the whole hilltop is open space. Is that
Yeah, and
from what I could see?
and up there, there's trails on private property, and there's also a trail in the easement itself that's been used historically by the community for decades. So, nice to, maintain some access to that. So you don't have to force people to go walking between two people's houses, because there's a couple houses on Barrett's Hill, and where they have common driveways, and I bet people use that from time to time. I don't, because I feel like it's trespassing, because you're going pretty close to somebody's house. So I always went up the other way.
So, Mr. Dickinson, who would we contact for that?
I think that, last time Elvis called the developer, or I tried to contact him, so I'd go ask
All right.
Dawn or Elvis. And I think maybe the last time we couldn't get a response, so it just kind of fell to the wayside. But now they might be in a different position to make a decision on it, because most of the units are constructed or in the process of being constructed.
Okay.
And there's, several units that are now occupied, like the whole northern side of the street's occupied. And a few units on the southern side, too. So they got leased.
All right, anything else on this subject?
What do we do with the letters that you drafted for
The letter itself?
the Trigate one? Do we have to vote on anything, or
I don't think so.
how do we?
Yeah, no, I forwarded to
Oh.
staff just to take a quick peek at it.
Gotcha.
And I can follow up this week to see where we stand on it.
So we don't have to do anything.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys already agreed to send out the letter. I'm sure that obviously if anybody wanted to review it, they could.
Yep.
But when staff reviews it, I'd say send it out, get it over with.
Yeah, I mean, most of the time, either when I was doing it, I'd send out the letter, or when I was chairman, or Bill would send out the letter, and we wouldn't even have any staff review, we'd just send it out. So it's probably good that it does have staff review, just to close the loop on things, make sure
Yeah.
we're sending it out to the right people.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Anything else? Well, moving on. Item D, Old Home Day Recap. Yeah, those who participated, thank you very much for doing so. I think it was a success. Hot. But we managed, everybody else managed who was there as well. So is there anybody want to offer their thoughts or comments on this? And Ms. Murray?
So it was great. We had a lot of people volunteer the first day, like Thursday, which was great. Candy helped for sure, so we can note that for next time. And all the dioramas that Mr. Walter made, they brought everybody in, everyone loved them. And then we did get some like representatives, if you will, I don't know what to call them, like from other departments of the town, like animal control, and Sherry Ducey, who is a commissioner, and Nashua, who was like open to share ideas. Oh, that's maybe something we could look into in the future, like getting with other, or like, you know, neighbors, their commissions, and even other parts of Hudson's own municipality. And kids are really into it, so that was really cool. Even despite the candy, their knowledge came out, and they have a lot of knowledge on conservation. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's pretty much what I got out of it. With, you know, the engagement was great. People genuinely of Hudson care about conservation. So it's good to know that we're kind of on the same page about that. I mean, we're able to explain wetlands and what we actually do versus maybe what they think we do. So,
Yep.
you know, a lot of people were interested in like us having a Facebook or like, well, yeah, I guess a Facebook, because we have a website, and like posting pictures of stuff on the trails and whatnot. So, but that's something we can add to like another agenda or whatever. But great turnout, very fun.
Did anybody track how many people we spoke to?
We
each
have the
day?
volunteer list, but no, I didn't think to tally them up. But we got a lot.
Like, what do you think, if you had to throw a ballpark number?
Horrible with numbers.
I was there Thursday night, Friday night, and Thursday was pretty slow. I want to say maybe less than 10. Friday was probably a bit busier.
Mm-hmm.
And Mr. Walter and Miss Marie were both there. So you guys saw a few people when I wasn't at the booth, and vice versa. I don't know, a dozen plus, maybe closer to 20. I don't know.
Well, I was there Friday night and Saturday night. Seemed to be quite a number of people there interested in the maps and the trails and stuff. We met a lot of people. Some were just interested in animals in general, and others were pretty interested in Robinson Pond and what trails and future trails there are there. There's, you know, we did have some other people stop by from other commissions. Stopped from a Litchfield commissioner came by and was interested in coming to one of our meetings sometime. Some of the younger kids were interested in animal protection and volunteer work. A number of the people during those two nights, probably, 20 or 25 people stopped by to have a chat or whatever and answer some questions, get some candy, whatever. Bill stopped by there on Saturday night. I talked with him for a while. His signs were out on display. They need to be out on the trail somewhere, but Yeah, it was good. I think we could use going forward, could use a banner that says, you know, Hudson Conservation. Set up, but I think it all worked pretty good for our first go-arounds. Anybody have suggestions for another time, or bringing information in other places? You want to bring some of that information to the library, so you're welcome to it, or I could do a presentation there too, sometime in the future, or whatever subject you delegate.
I would say also a lot of interest in the Trails Challenge. So
Yes.
I think if we can concentrate on getting that up and running on the website,
Okay.
that would be pretty popular. So
I like the idea of getting other commissions to attend. So then you'd have, we'd have a larger collective presence and more people might come over to the table. But it sounds like there was a good amount of people that, because we only talked about who came over at night, not, how many people actually came over during the day? There was probably more people coming over during the course of
Yeah.
the morning and the afternoon, I would think.
Yeah. Pretty late. And it was so hot and even raining, and people were still coming over. Yeah.
We witnessed a nice rainbow out there.
I missed the rainbow.
If you,
Oh my gosh. Naturally.
Ms. Keller, did you have something to say?
well, I was going to say that an educator stopped by and asked if we could do a presentation at the schools, the elementary schools, because the kids love the ideas of, the vernal pools, the critters that live in them, and just conservation in general. And I think that's an excellent opportunity to start sharing some of the knowledge that we have here with younger children. Plant the seeds. It's their world that we're working to protect. And so if they get educated, they'll be more likely to be involved, which would be wonderful. And it was fairly busy. There was not much downtime where there was no one to speak to. I mean, people were very interested. They were happy to see we were there.
Yeah.
So I suggest next year we have a double table and have more information. And if other commissions want to sit with us, that would be fine. But, Michaela and I were also thinking that perhaps we can have a gathering of our local commissions and just talk about what's working for us, what's working for them. Let's start sharing information instead of recreating the wheel ourselves. I'm sure they all have things that they've achieved and vice versa. So, but yeah, Old Home Days was spectacular. It was great. It was a good time. You missed a good time, Ken.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, I had to take some time off, and it just,
We had great
by
music.
chance.
Plus watching
music.
Dylan get dunked.
Yeah.
It was worth it right there.
Yep.
Mr. Do, yeah, Selectman Dumont.
Selectman Dumont in the
Selectman Dumont
tank.
got done.
A lot of fun.
So, to follow up, so we had a 10 by 10, and to me, I don't think it was big enough.
I agree.
I agree.
So maybe 10 by 20 next year would be more sufficient.
Yeah.
And did everybody think the scheduling was okay as far as,
Yeah.
okay? All right.
was Thursday night worth it to
Yeah.
attend on Thursday? We didn't do that before.
We got more volunteer sign-ups on Thursday than any other day.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
yeah, we did get, even though it was slow, we did get
Yeah.
a number of interested people. So I think it's still worthwhile. We didn't stay as late because it was slow, but I think at least the first part of it, like once it stopped being way too hot and before
Yeah.
it got too late, I think that kind of window, like
It's
6:30 till like 8 was,
Well, right,
Worthwhile.
the weather can have a big effect on the numbers.
yeah.
So, yeah, you just gotta roll with it, I guess.
So maybe maybe next year we can have like a little subcommittee for the
Yeah.
Old Home Day, and
Great
you
idea.
guys can work on outreach and banners and
Mhm.
things to present and
Absolutely.
all that good
Yeah.
stuff.
I like that.
Yeah, very
Right.
good idea.
Yeah, on that note too, it'd be just a couple of follow-up thoughts was that we had more Eagle Scouts. We had more correspondence with the Scouts, whether it be Girl Scouts or Boy Scouts. I'm not sure how, if the numbers are the same as it was before, but, you know, even just a few years ago, we had some good Eagle Scout projects. We had some larger ones in the past. Over the course of the last 15, 20 years, we've had a couple of really good projects, probably at least a half a dozen, actually. So it'd be good to do some outreach to try to get more people and, you know, entice another project to happen. Like, so maybe, there's a potential Eagle Scout candidate that would want to build a kiosk like they did out at, it was nice that we didn't have to build the kiosk at 68 Pelham. It took a little bit we had to wait for that to go up, but they got it done and it looks good. It was well installed. So that, and then in terms of getting together with other commissions, we have done that in the past, more so with Pelham and the other towns, but when we had the meeting in February to talk about the DOT corridor, there were representatives from Litchfield and Londonderry that showed up in that meeting, and I spoke to at least one or two of them. So that after everything, the formal part was over, and we talked about talking again, but we hadn't yet, so it'd be good to, to do some outreach there and bring up the subject of sharing a tent. So maybe Nashua too.
Yeah.
Who knows what's going on the other side of the river. I mean, I'm not sure how, excuse me, how active Nashua is with trail building. So a lot of their trails are developed. But Merrimack's done quite a bit. For instance, and Bedford too. Milford, Amherst, Bedford, Merrimack, they all have really good trail systems that they've put a lot of work into, and Halls for that matter as well. So you could, we can do a lot of outreach there.
Yes, Ms. Murray.
So just, speaking on the Eagle Scout, I remembered there was, this couple who did come to the tent and they were looking at the Robinson Pond, relief map that Mr. Walter made. And they were saying that there were some trees fallen on the trail. However, when we looked at the map, it's actually like not our parcel. It's in, the one that some people I think use because it used to be. And he was like, well, the Eagle Scouts used to do that, or, he essentially recommended that as well. But I did let him know that it wasn't our parcel, but he was very interested in, as a resident, seeing us work with the Eagle Scouts as well. And someone did talk about part of Box, and there was some overgrown vegetation, not a lot. But that was in Londonderry, and this is kind of a question. Would that be on us? We do share that, but
I think,
on their side, I don't know.
I think the Forest Society had a work day,
Mhm.
and I think that was taken care of.
Okay, so do they mainly do
Yeah, I think they
Box?
worked with an area business in Londonderry. It was kind of like a work day for that business.
Okay.
Um,
So they.
I heard that today.
Oh, okay.
So,
Yeah, you have to go out there and take a walk and see if they did any work on the Hudson side, because the Hudson side needed some clearing.
Yeah, I'm not.
There were some
I
prickly
would-
bushes and whatnot that were getting in
Yeah,
the way of the
I could
trail.
take a peek.
Okay, so it is split by border though, like they handle the Londonderry side?
Well, I would assume, well, I shouldn't assume, but I would think that they would do the whole parcel, not just town-specific.
Okay,
So, but, yeah, we should go out there and check.
We own, or if you're talking about Bacchus, there's maybe less than 40 acres. It's in Hudson, the other 200's in Londonderry, and a little bit in Wyndham.
oh wow,
So
yeah,
kinda-
it's huge, it's a big one.
Yeah, kind of spread out.
Do we know the responsibilities for that property? Does Concom have responsibilities for it, or is it all Forest Society, or is it is it shared?
Like, boy, that's going back a ways.
It might be
because-
worth
Yeah.
touching base with them and finding out.
Yeah, I mean, I was present when we had to vote that in back in 2003, I think. So I think the idea was that it was going to be a shared responsibility, but primarily the responsibility of the Forest Society because they manage the property as a woodlot.
Yeah, it's like.
As
a
well,
timber.
and they developed, and they're the ones that developed the trails and the map as well, and the parking area in Londonderry.
So would our responsibility be more like monitoring and reporting stuff to them? So they
Yes,
can
and we
address it?
do that. Dawn just started doing it in place of, I mean, what happened was Bill was doing it, and then I think he hurt his leg or foot, and then Dawn started taking it over to help out, and then Dawn's been doing it since, just to make sure that it happens in a timely manner.
So Mr. Kirkland monitors Bacchus on the,
Yeah,
It's
he usually
involved
does a
also.
loop up there, and then he does a loop at Musquash.
yeah, I know he does musquash.
And we could always assist Dawn with, you know, him writing up the report, because I think Dawn does, you know, he probably does the tightest loop possible in Musquash. You'd have to talk to him
Yeah.
to get the specifics, so maybe I'll be back, we can discuss it further. Then usually it occurs, those walks occur towards the end of the year, because the report is due by December 31st, so it usually happens, you know, right around Thanksgiving. Maybe early December at the latest, to avoid the snow.
Okay.
But yeah, I think you get up until the 31st of December to submit those reports. And there usually isn't much new that's found, but we did have some trespassing issues at Musquash that needed to be handled in 2 different years that were significant enough that they had to send notices out to the adjacent landowners or post signs. And there was another situation that we're monitoring at Bacchus Road too.
Hmm.
There's some, you know, it was like minimal, like dirt and leaf dumping. So instead of people using their own yard to dump the leaves, they were using the forest, the managed forest part to dump their stuff.
It happens.
But with that note, you know, on that note, there's some, you know, like especially along the southern border of Bacchus, there's like some tires out there that could be taken out of the woods, and we did take a few tires out of there, but we could probably do like we could inform the forest spin-off that we'd be interested, if we wanted to, and taking a few other items out of there and see if they'd be okay with it. Like we did over at ranges recently. I think that there's maybe a smaller, like, I don't think you'd find a refrigerator out there, but there's some tires in the scared about,
Yeah.
or car. I don't think there's any vehicles in the
So we need
woods out
to
there.
ask the forest, we need to get permission though, to remove tires or fridges, because it's forest.
You know, actually, questionable.
Okay.
I mean, I think it would probably be a nice, it'd be good to inform because there is somebody assigned to that,
No
right?
problem.
Yeah, at minimum, it'd be like courtesy,
Yes, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
at minimum. I don't think they'll say no.
Yeah, probably not.
But anyways, I can follow up on that.
Okay.
Yeah, and the paths out there are nice if you haven't been out there. You can walk all the way from Griffin Road down to the Beaver Brook.
Yeah.
That's a good, you get a little hill trail and a little bit of wetlands in between. So there's like swamp, stream, a little hill with a view, and then you drop down to the Beaver Brook itself. And then if you combine that with a walk along the Bacchus Road out to where like the dam is, in Wyndham, that's a nice loop.
Be
And
cool.
you get into back in and do what we've done it like that, where you go down into Wyndham, but then you go back up on the other side, on the Londonderry side, you can hug the eastern, there's a trail that goes along the eastern boundary. So you can do a nice big loop in there, and that would be a nice half-day hike,
Nice, well,
so, or at least kill a couple of hours.
yeah.
Yeah, it'd be cool if we could work with Spinoff to get some more signage out there.
Yeah, you're right, it's, I don't know, I think they had the Londonderry side signed well enough, but they didn't really pay attention to the Hudson side as much. But they do show some of the Hudson side on their map, if I recall correctly. So it does, part of the loop does go on the Hudson side. And there's two old foundations out there too that are on the Hudson side of it.
Is that one on Field Maps app? Do you know?
Ooh. Selectmen do one.
I hate to be the guy, but I think we're trailing way off
Yeah. Oh,
from
yeah, yeah.
Old Home Day
Right.
recap.
Right.
I would,
Yeah.
I'd bring it back to the agenda. You guys have some other stuff,
think we were gonna-
you know, if anybody wants to have a conversation, I'm sure you can, but I would try to focus back to the, wrapping up the Old Home Day recap.
Thank you.
Long tangent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought we could do this meeting in an hour. Now we're getting done an hour and a half.
Here I was thinking it was only gonna be 30 minutes.
Yep.
Wishful thinking.
All right.
So,
Old Home Day, I think, any more to say about Old Home Day? Mr. Walters?
Just after the meeting and recollect some of the materials there.
Yes,
Yes.
my vehicle's full of materials.
Mine too.
Stuff.
Happy to distribute. All right. Anything else? No? Cool. All right, moving on. Financial report. Anybody have a chance to take a peek at this?
No. What's the amount we actually have left? Is it the balance available on the first page, or is it the budget on the last page, or what? Never know how to read this.
oh, well, You want me to try?
Go ahead, Mr. Dickinson.
I think it is that, yeah, you're seeing two different numbers. So we have the net budget on the first page of about $55,000. We've expended, and that's from the July 1st, the start of the fiscal year, so we're only a month into it. Because of the bulk of that $11,000 that was expended was pond treatments, as previously noted.
So that's the remaining budget for
So the
that?
remaining, so that doesn't really, the balance available should be a different number than the net budget.
Okay.
So I question that. I think that there's possibly a mistake there. But on the next page, with color, at the bottom, it says FY '27 and encumbered. So that's, the reason why that number is almost 121,000 is because it has the 70,000 that, and there's an asterisk there, need to verify, so that's also a number that needs to be worked on a little bit more. So I think this is just another way of reading what the line item was within the item. So, for instance, small equipment, we expended $280 for clothing. So we have $2,800 left under that small equipment line item,
Yeah.
account number. So, the association dues weren't due yet, so that's still fully available. Same with the registration. Because we're only 1 month into the season.
Yeah.
So, I think this is something, this third page is something new, and they're trying to show the encumbered amount plus what we have for this year's budget, but it needs to be verified.
And I think the $70,000 figure is probably from VHB, I would think, right?
Well, no, it might be
Oh.
because we did not do all of the treatments last year that we thought we were gonna do. So there was unspent money from last year. And they carried it over because the treatments don't follow the same cycle as the fiscal year. But, so that needs to be, but like, the big thing here is, right in red, is there's an asterisk need to verify, so it's a bogus number, I think. It's most likely what it is. And we can get an update next month. And Selectman Dumont's get
Oh,
Need some input.
Selectman Dumont.
So yeah, I would go by the 54,482 number as what you're looking at for available money, and we can verify that with Dorina or Don. The 70,000 should be your professional services, and to Ken's point, or Mr. Dickinson's point, obviously you have some that get split on fiscal year 26 and fiscal year 27, so that might be why that needs to be verified. But I think to Mr. Cameron's original question, it would be the 54,482.
Right.
This gets confusing when you have a negative number on here and then
Which would be the 10,000.
yeah.
So that's just because it's encumbered, so you got to figure that as it's already being spent because it's allocated for a certain purpose.
Carl,
Yeah, I just,
Oh, Ms. Murray, go ahead.
in the negative 10,000's for the pond treatment, right?
Right.
And then there's gonna be like 22,000 of it reimbursed? Or is that already included or thought about in that number?
Yeah, because the grant money was factored into the budget for
Okay.
this year. That we knew that, a certain amount of money, or we anticipated a certain amount of money was gonna be needed for the pond treatments. And we know that recently that we've gotten half of it paid for
Yeah,
via the grant, so it's you don't know exactly what the amount is, what the award's gonna be, and you just have to give an estimate when you're going through the budget cycle, because the grant is awarded in February, but the budget cycle is determined in October, or at least we present the number in October. Upstairs, we review, the chairman reviews the budget with Dawn and Kirkland, this now, used to be Elvis, so we'd always go through that in September, verify it in October, it would get presented to the selectmen, gets voted on, and discussed at the budget committee as well, so that you have a number by the winter, but then the grant doesn't get
So-
awarded until 2 months later,
Okay,
and so you're always kind of chasing it.
okay.
Selectman Dumont.
So to that point, to give Mr. Murphy here some more work, we have bumped up our budget schedule. So everything is going to be going for a vote by the Board of Selectmen in September, a whole month ahead of schedule. So what I would suggest is if anybody has any specific comments to your budget, to send them off to Mr. Murphy, and Mr. Murphy could verify those with staff as they're going to be preparing. If not, they most likely have already started.
So is the date, when you say is it a 1 month jump, so instead of it's usually the day after the meeting?
I have
that
to
we
look,
go?
so we have 3 weeks of budget review, 2 meetings each week. Some of them, there's actually 3. I want to say the way it's shaken out is you guys will be towards the end of that September month. We try to get some of the heavy hitters out first, the larger departments, get through that stuff, and then there'll be a couple nights, I got to look back at the exact schedule, that a lot of the smaller departments are lumped together. I thought it was the second week, but don't hold me to it. But I can send Mr. Murphy the exact date.
Yeah, because we should have an opportunity to discuss, we need to have the opportunity to discuss it, because otherwise we need a special meeting in September before our next meeting's on the 14th. And it'd be hard to schedule that because of Labor Day week.
Yeah, I would look at it, so, obviously the directive from the Board of Selectmen was no significant changes, it was level funded. So I would take a look at what you have currently and see if there are any questions, get that information. But basically what our goal this year, like I said, is outside of level funded, is just kind of sharing up some lines, making it easier to understand and follow. But we don't see with any department significant increases or changes.
So we'd be able to hold our budget, but not increase it.
I'd have to see what the other Board of Selectmen say, obviously, but
Yeah.
our parameters that we set was level funded.
Okay.
Level funded.
And Selectman Dumont, in the past, usually it was just a percentage increase.
So like my first year, for instance, we did level funded. Following year after that, we did 2%. We've done 1.5%. It's always varied. Previous years to before I was on the board, they've done as high as 3%. It all kind of depends based on certain indexes. We took a look at the CPI as well as the inflation, and that's kind of where we base it off of, as well as obviously our spending for fiscal year 27. Obviously, we're talking about fiscal year 28, so it gets a little confusing when we're trying to budget out that far. But
Well, we've had other years, we had several years where we were requested to have level,
Yep.
no increases. That's not, to me, that sounds normal, more normal than
right.
over the course of the last 25 years than not.
Well, big takeaways. Obviously, I'm sure, I don't know if anybody heard about it at Old Homes Day. I certainly did, but property taxes is what everybody's nervous about, right? So we're trying to mitigate that as best as we can. So that's mainly where the directive comes from, as well as the amount of spending that occurred last year. Like I said, inflation, CPI, and some focus on other items that we're going to have to try to get across the finish line, contracts, and a few other tickets that'll go on the warrant, so.
Selectman Dumont, unspent money in these departments, what happens to that at the end of the fiscal year?
Typically, unspent money gets rolled back into the general fund.
To the general fund?
Yeah,
Okay.
which then obviously gets, at that point, that those funds normally get used to either offset future tax rates, or they could be voted to be used on other items.
Actually, I have maybe one question that's budget
Yeah,
related,
Mr.
and
Dickinson.
that's, you, and this might be more so for Dawn or Elvis, and that's if you held off on bidding the boat launch project, once the boat launch project starts, are all the funds related to the construction administration portion of it coming out of another department? And they're not gonna be coming back to us trying to ask for more money out of the Conservation Commission?
I would
Not knowing
defer,
what-
I would defer to Mr. Demo or Mr. Kirkland for that, but typically, if we have a project that normally we try to identify funding first, and we have that whole plan laid out, and that way, we know. If something comes up sporadic mid-year, that's when you can see some changes. But if we have enough information when we set the budget, normally we identify a line item specifically where that's gonna come, similar to, your funding for like VHB and things like that occur regularly.
Yeah, so I mean, like that, well, I was asking about that because that's a known,
And are you speaking about
Project.
the boat, which boat launch? Because there's,
well, the reworking of Robinson Pond.
Oh, Robinson, okay.
Launch that
So-
actually got voted in, as opposed to, obviously, the beach project should get done too, but I know that's gonna be done under a separate,
yeah, so that has identified funds, because obviously we're working with a grant for that as well.
so you are still actively working to get monies for the beach project? even
Yeah,
though-
and I believe, if I remember, and I'd have to defer to Mr. Demo on this, he's got all the info for it, but I believe the way the warrant article was worded, that we had to get the grant, otherwise we weren't able to expend the money that the voters had given us. It was contingent on receiving that funding.
Gotcha, so he's trying to wrap up that, securing that.
If I'm not mistaken, I think we're pretty close to the finish line.
Okay, so we should get, so we should have one of the staff present at the next meeting so we can understand if we have to add anything into the professional services line item to cover anything that VHB or another company might need to perform for that project, if it's
I don't
a
believe-
shared thing.
Yeah, I don't believe that you do, but I think Elvis would probably have a quick answer for you on that one.
Yeah, I was just trying to, I did a little, light went on that one.
Yep.
Cameron?
Just to clarify, are we saying the beach project is funded at Robinson Pond or just the boat launch?
Just the boat launch,
Okay.
the recreation portion, so obviously, you remember 2 years ago, we tried to do both, it
Yeah.
failed, and then, the previous, or this past March was just the boat launch.
Yeah, that was my understanding.
Yep.
Is there a chance that beach improvement item would go on to as a warrant article again?
I'd say there's always a chance.
Since it only failed by, I think, less than 100 votes?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, when you're talking about only 1,800 people showing up, it's a significant percentage, but I would like to see something done over there. It was disappointing to see it fail, but we'll have to see. We still have to work through out-of-budget expenses and other warrant articles, and then obviously say, okay, what kind of prioritize them. We don't want to overwhelm the voters.
Yeah, but I mean, the engineering department put in a significant amount of effort, and we paid a ton of money for VHB to do what they did,
I
as
couldn't
well as the surveyors and
Couldn't agree
anyone
more.
else they had as a sub-consultant, so it was silly that it didn't get voted through.
especially with the size of the grant that was available for it. I couldn't agree more.
But, yeah, so now we gotta try to make up for that somehow. Swing the bat again,
Yep.
so,
Okay.
anyhow,
Anything else?
I think that's probably enough for the moment.
Mr.
Just
Cameron?
wondering, did we get the conservation fund report? Because I don't have it.
No, they didn't, Mr. Kirkland wasn't able to get that for us.
There was questions on when those funds come in.
Correct, yeah, he's working on that.
Okay,
So
cool.
hopefully by next meeting, we'll have something substantial.
Nice.
Anything else? Nope. Right.
Thank-
Oh, Ms. Walters.
Thanks again for the shirts, they came out nice. Appreciate it.
They do look great.
Whoever
Can't believe all
gave
the,
the okay for that, appreciate it.
Yes.
You guys did. It was a group effort.
Well, somebody has to stamp the money.
I didn't wash mine, so I didn't bring it. Right, so. It's hot on Sunday.
I wash mine once a year.
Okay, so we're all set on the numbers? All right, minutes for approval. Anybody have a chance to read through the meeting minutes for June 8th, July 13th, and July 20th? Thank you, Ms. Cameron, for putting this together.
Yes.
I had a couple of corrections on June 8th minutes.
Yes.
I had you listed as vice chair, so that's, should just be chair. And on page 1. And then last page, next meeting would be July 13th. So, I think that was it for that one. Couple others on the other ones. Nothing on July 13. Never mind.
We good? All right. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
Aye.
Ms. Murray makes a motion. Do I have a second on the motion?
I'll second.
Walters seconds the motion. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. All right. Moving on, anybody wish to make any comments for tonight? Murray?
So I just had, I suppose, questions, comments about if we're gonna be doing a budget meeting before September, if that's a thing that we have to do, and, if we need to do like the other subcommittee or something about the advisory or the warrant articles. Sorry, my terminology isn't the best for that. So if we need to make subcommittees or a special meeting for September for the budget, or if we just are good with that, I'm not sure.
Selectman Dumont?
Yeah, so I would say, budget-wise, I think it's pretty straightforward. Your budget is relatively easy in my mind, but if you have any questions or comments about it, I would send those to Mr. Murphy, and he can have those answered for staff. As far as warrant articles, I would encourage you to either do a subcommittee or a special meeting, just to get together and see what you're looking at to get on there. Obviously, with any of that stuff, the sooner the better. Time flies by before you know it. It'll be time to put it on the ballot, so.
Okay, it's like October.
So for the Board of Selectmen budget, we're going through September, and then warrant articles after, will be after that. But yours, I believe, will be dealt with land use typically, unless if you have something else you're looking at. But I think last time you guys did a couple of those, you had to go through the planning board process, which they need even just about the same time to review, and then they have to hold a public hearing on it.
Yeah.
So, and typically their public hearings for their land use ones are done December, most likely January.
Okay.
Selectman Dumont, is my understanding that they weren't having any Zork meetings this year?
There are no Zork meetings, no.
Okay.
They have that one. Their goal was to try to review that whole book. Obviously, it's being done with a third party, and that will be handled as one ordinance. So you may see that that's where their focus really is this year. I don't want to speak for them, but
Is that process something the Conservation Commission can have input in?
so there's actually, last I checked, there's going to be 3 input sessions for the entire town.
Entire town?
The planning board and the zoning board already had a joint meeting for an update. And then the next step will be input. I can get you the dates, but off the top of my head, there's 2, I want to say it's like the end of August. I remember the 31st and I think the first week in September, but I can get those for you. I just saw them online, actually.
And that's for public input?
Yeah, they'll be done at 3 different locations throughout the town to try to get as many people together to review what they're doing and to get the information and take any input that you have.
And they're redoing the whole,
The entire, shouldn't say the entire, but they're doing a comprehensive review on the town zoning ordinance. There's a lot of discrepancies, there's a lot of overlap, and they're working with Fuss and O'Neill as well as National Regional Planning Commission to do that.
I thought they already ironed out a lot of that, but I guess,
They did, and that's why I said now they're getting to the point where they want to present it and get feedback.
I see.
And so Conservation Commission will have opportunity at that point.
So my understanding is the Conservation Commission as a board is not going to, but obviously all of you are citizens of Hudson and are more than welcome to participate in that feedback.
So we as citizens, okay.
Okay.
Yep.
So this-
And,
Mr. Chair,
oh, is that Mr. Cameron?
question on that.
Yeah, go ahead, Mr. Cameron.
Some of the zoning ordinances are directly related with the Conservation Commission, so I think not having input doesn't seem appropriate to me.
So the authority, the governing body, obviously, for the land use and the zoning ordinance is the planning board.
Understood.
They're the ones that create that process. They're the ones that have the authority to go forward and make those changes. I will say that this has been something that's been ongoing for at least 6-8 months. I've been just following along online. I haven't been a part of that process. I'm not a liaison to those boards, but I would suggest now is the time to try to participate in the public input sessions, which typically in the past, I would like to see more public come out, but that normally when you see the other board, or normally when we had those, it was the other board members that was coming out and participating more than anybody.
Well, it sounds like we should be, if it's the planning board, we really should be talking to Tim Alley to
Yeah,
figure
in no
out-
way, shape, or form do I want to make that perfectly clear. I'm not speaking on their behalf at all. This is just me following along, like I said,
Yeah, I
online.
mean, it sounds like maybe we missed it a little bit with trying to coordinate as a commission with the planning board on that subject. So maybe there's an opportunity still to decide, to make up for that, because what Mr. Cameron said is correct. It should be, that was part of the problem before when we were doing, there was some miscommunications when Bill was chairman. Some things got misconstrued with Zork. It didn't happen.
Well, I guess my thing would be, is there anything new, and if there's something new that you're looking to have added to there, it might not be the appropriate year, because this is more of like a cleanup year, I think, but if there's something that you're reading and saying that this doesn't make sense, I have a better way to word it, or something along those lines, send it off to Mr. Murphy and have him forward it off to Mr. Malley, but I would still also encourage everybody to be a part of those input sessions, and, that we can have as many opportunities as possible. But I don't see a problem if individual commission members had some suggestions or things that they wanted the planning board to look at, that couldn't get forward off to them, and then the planning board will do with that what they want.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have it be presented through the commission, though, so you can have the boards directly working together.
Yeah. Agreed.
I think if you were to do something like that, you'd have to request a joint meeting, or something along those lines. So that would
but
be
it
the only.
that might actually, we've done that in the past. So we've done joint session workshops in the past with
Yeah.
both boards.
Yeah, last year, because I was on the liaison for the select board, it was, I saw you guys do most through Zork, And then obviously this year, I think it was Mr. Murphy that had mentioned a couple months back that obviously that wasn't going to be occurring this year because of this process they're going through. But neither here nor there. I think the communication, if you want, Mr. Murphy would have to reach out to Mr. Malley and see what opportunities are there, if you're looking for something of that style.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's new news because I was so busy with everything. I didn't
Sure.
really get a chance to focus on it for even a second. But if I had to switch gears and quickly make up for that, I probably could.
Government moves slow until it moves fast.
It just feels like we were left out of the process, and now there's no time because the public input sessions are coming up within 2 weeks. There's no time to work on anything with the planning board or provide any input as a commission.
I will say, and again, I would ask Mr. Malley, but they, the third party is the one that really did this work. They had a joint session just to kind of go through and hear the updates. I haven't, and I'm not saying that they didn't, but I haven't seen an actual meeting where they're kind of doing what you're saying and going through and working on it themselves. So I wouldn't look at it as that you guys were left out. I think they're going through just a different process this year. But reach out and see what opportunities are there.
Selectman Duma, so what is the, what are they hoping for the outcome of this whole process?
The hope is a major cleanup. I don't know if anybody's, and it sounds like maybe Mr. Cameron has, but you read through it, there's ordinances in there that tell you to do two different things. Staff doesn't want to make a decision because, and I don't blame them, because they don't know which one's right or wrong. Applicants don't want to make that decision because they don't know what's right or wrong, and then it's left up to the board to interpret either side of that. So the hope is to get rid of a lot of that ambiguity and make it more easy for staff to be able to vet applications, the applicant to be able to look online and say, here's my checklist of things that I need to abide by, and then for you as a board, not have to wonder which ordinances takes precedent.
So in effect, no changes will be made, they're just clarification?
The majority of it will be clarification. I did not go to the planning and zoning meeting like I was talking about, so I'm going to be reading through these next couple of weeks myself to actually have a better view on it. But my understanding of the way it was explained to me was a big cleanup of our local land use.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it sounds like that's super important.
Well, and I don't know if you guys remember from Zork, but there was a lot of like minuscule or minor things that we were doing that added. We had like 15 warrant articles for land use, and it was a number here or a definition there, things that just either weren't defined or that were weirdly defined, adding uses in certain areas that already exist here today, but they're not in our permitted uses. A lot of things like that.
Well,
So,
I look forward to I know it's always tough to coordinate these things, but I look forward to the outcome in general. It sounds like a really good project, and
I think it'll be good because there's a lot of stuff too, even state law, that is not reflected in our ordinances. Either that we're not abiding by state law or just isn't even in there, and we're supposed to have those things done every year.
So in effect, any change to an ordinance would have to be voted by the citizens?
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
The ultimate governing body is the voters.
Okay.
However, the planning board is the authority to present that and put it to them for a vote.
Okay.
Oh, so they're essentially making a bunch of voting items for the coming
They're making a bunch of
election?
changes, and then you'll see this final change as an actual warrant article on the ballot.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Just
So,
one. Sorry.
one encompancing warrant article.
I believe so, but again,
There'd be too
I'm
many little
not.
changes, I would think, to have to present it as, if you go to like page 9 on line 2 and
Yeah,
Like everything,
Whatever.
and I can't stress this enough, everybody that goes to vote, and I would love to see more people do it, need to pay very close attention to what is going on in town and do the research and educate yourself on what you're voting on. And if you have questions, please call in to ask. I can't speak exactly how the warrant article will look because I haven't been a part of that process. But I do know that there's been a lot of communication with the state Attorney General's office, our lawyer, staff here to make sure that it's done the correct way, obviously without having 200 warrant articles or 300 warrant articles for every little page.
yeah, it sounds like it needs to be one warrant article. It should be.
Yeah.
Instead of piecemealing it, making it confusing.
Mr. Cameron?
Just to your point, from watching the workshop that Planning and Zoning Board did in July sometime,
Yeah, it wasn't too long ago.
it sounded like
It was the
anything
16th.
that's zoning related would go to warrant article, I believe, and then anything planning related that didn't require zoning change would go to the planning board for their public hearing process.
So both of them require public hearings. Land use regulations, they can approve on the spot. Zoning ordinances have to be approved by the voter.
So what about like the conservation subdivision regulations? Is that something that would go through planning board or?
I would have to look at how that's worded to give you a better answer, but
I don't know if
if we're
this is-
talking about like acreage, cluster development, things like that, I believe that's defined in ordinance, and that would
Okay.
be part that would go to the voters, but it's been a little bit since I've reviewed that.
That's one thing that stands out to me that could use updating, is it sounds like it's not really being used, and it is being used in a lot of other communities, and it's a very effective way to conserve land, so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but,
So if they're updating the subdivision regulations, it could be a time to update that. I don't know if there's opportunity or not, but that was a thought.
that almost to me seems like a Zork process, not a cleaning up process.
I don't know what they're changing in the
that's-
subdivision
Yeah.
regulations, because they're proposing revamping that, right?
Like I said, they're going to be going through the entire book, so I can't say whether or not they're touching that specific one. But I believe, I think the best thing to do, if you want, and you can shoot them off to me, staff, or
Yeah.
Mr. Murphy, and we can try to get some better answers for you.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the final updated book. I was only able to watch parts of that joint meeting that you said. My understanding was at that joint meeting, they spoke pretty openly about almost everything that they were doing. I'm sure they didn't read page by page, but
Right.
I'll have to, I could ask, I think that one's an easy one that we should be able to get an answer from either, Jay Minkara or Mr. Malley or staff, so.
Yeah, it sounds like we
Email.
need a little coordination, just to understand it better.
And keep in mind too, obviously, if you have any questions about that, you guys are all residents of Hudson, you're all gonna be voting on this, hopefully everybody will be showing up in March to vote on it. Call in, ask the questions, make sure you have the information that you need, and if you have suggestions, you have that input session, or Mr. Murphy can reach out to Mr. Malley to see if there's an opportunity for something else there.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
There's always more work.
Yeah, exactly. That would have been something that if we,
Yeah.
could have dealt with better on with this agenda, but that's,
And,
it sounds
there'll
like we still
be-
have time to make up for that.
And keep in mind, not all this stuff is just a magic wand getting waved over it, right? I mean, this is going to take care of a bulk of clarifying issues, and we can only do so much within a given year. So, it'll be ongoing next year. My understanding is they're looking to bring back Zork in a more formal process, similar to what we did last year. Just this year was trying to take care of, there was a lot of things, I think, if anybody remembers from Zork, I think we had 20 or 30 items that was on a piece of paper, and we were looking at them, a lot of them were clarifying that we're figuring maybe it would be better to, take care of a lot of that low-hanging fruit all at once, and then go back to some of those bigger issues the following year. So,
Ms. Murray?
And do warrant articles like proposed by us need to go through Zork, or otherwise us as private citizens, or can we still propose them?
so you always have the option as a private citizen to do a petition warrant article. You always have that no matter what. Like I said, anything to do with land use or zoning has to go through the planning process. So
Well, I
we
mean,
have-
like as the commission, like as a body, us, like, does
So-
it need to go through Zork if we propose something?
Zork is established through the planning board and their bylaws. So they are the authority for that. They're actually the one that would, that would call for that meeting. So without that in place this year, you would have to talk directly to the chairman of the planning board and see if there's an opportunity to bring some of those forward.
As a commission? Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions for Selectman Dumont? Sorry to put you on the hot seat
No, that's all
tonight.
right. No, and I apologize. I wish some of this stuff, I just simply don't have either the authority or the answers to, because it funnels through different boards. But I try to do my best to keep an eye on it.
No, it's good information.
A lot of
Thank you.
moving parts.
Yeah.
Very appreciated.
Mr. Walters?
Yeah, not related to any of the zoning or regulations or anything that's coming down, but the July 1st laws changed from the state as far as operation of this governing bodies here, the conservation and development and so on. So I was wondering if Mr. Demo or somebody would bring us up to date as far as how that all plays out for us.
Yeah, I would say, personally, I think, and Mr. Demo, if he feels differently, he's more than welcome to talk to you guys about it. But I know NRPC does a really good job at keeping track of legislative changes like that, and they normally have a file as things are getting signed and how it will impact, as well as the New Hampshire Municipal Association. So those would be the two that I think might just already have something ready to go for you.
Well, yeah, that and the, who is it, the president of the New Hampshire Association of Conservation Commissions.
Yep.
We could always reach out to them.
Yes. Yep.
They could either provide us some
Yeah, they
paper, or they could possibly even come down and make a presentation.
Yeah, they would have, obviously commission-specific stuff. If you're looking for anything else, land use zoning, New Hampshire Municipal Association will have all-encompassing things that are going to affect the municipality.
Yeah, just generally, they're looking to have more freedom in developing anything that has existing water and sewerage in towns. So, I mean, some towns have a lot more infrastructure than Hudson, but Hudson has an ending to their infrastructure as well. So, but things that are developable or could be developed, trying to be more cognizant of those things as far as building
Yeah, a lot of-
residential properties.
Yeah, like mixed use.
A lot of the talk for that stuff up there has been around soil types, infiltration, and basing it off of that than just kind of some random number that, at least when you look back through, it was just kind of thought of. So they're trying to base it off more of kind of like DES standards. But I will tell you, I would definitely suggest reaching out to the group that Mr. Dickinson said to see how it's going to affect this commission. But the legislation has all different effective dates. You'll see a lot of things in there 60 or 90 days after signature. That effective date, the governor has within her authority to bump that up. She can't do it any later than that, but even if it says 60 days, she could do it in 10 or 20 or 30. Some of them are date specific. There's some that occur on January 1st, July 1st, to Mr. Walters' point, as there's also legislation that's specifically carved out to take effect after the March voting year to let towns institute some of those changes ahead of time. So almost every month you'll see new legislation is going to be coming into effect.
So a lot of changes
A lot.
at the state level.
We had 1,400 bills last year.
1,400?
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's being a little conservative. It might have been a little larger than that, but 1,400 got submitted. That would have been House and Senate bills.
Wow.
So
What's a typical number?
A lot less.
it was less than that my first year. I want to say it was closer to about 1,000.
Wow.
There's some people up there that believe that only, you should only be able to submit one bill or prime sponsor at least one bill for each session year. And obviously, there's about 425 of us up there,
Yeah.
representatives and Senate members, so that would limit it down quite a bit. But I know some people that submitted 40 bills.
Jeez, wow. Where do you find the time?
A lot of reading.
All right. Anybody else? All right. Wow.
It's my 29th anniversary
Oh, congratulations, we should have got you a cake.
On the Conservation Commission?
No, yeah, close. No, it's
Congratulations.
wedding anniversary is 29,
Nice.
yeah.
It's tonight and you're spending it here?
You got it.
Jeez, you better be taking her
Iconic.
somewhere nice.
Yeah, with the,
Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations.
Congratulations.
thanks, yeah, we had,
All right.
Well, then you should be the one to make the favorite motion and get on home.
I know, yeah, that's right, all right.
yeah, all,
I make a motion to adjourn.
Mr. Walter makes a motion to adjourn. Do you have a second?
seconded.
Dickinson seconds the motion. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Bye.
Aye.
Aye.
All right, meeting's over at 9:09.